What's really going on when an 81-year-old woman in Florida decides to spray bear mace at two little black girls playing with bubbles in their own driveway? Yeah, you heard that right. This ain't no bedtime story. It's a raw reminder that racism doesn't retire with age and hate sure as hell doesn't care how old you are. Ada Anderson, a Florida resident with a record as colorful as it is disturbing, was charged with felony battery after she aimed pepper spray at a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old, two little girls just minding their business, having a sweet moment of joy with bubbles, innocent, playful, unbothered, until Ada decided to bring her own brand of venom. Here's how it went down. Marion County deputies got called after neighbors witnessed Anderson lose her cool over something so small, so harmless. The mother, April Morant, tells us Anderson came up to the fence dividing their properties, sprayed that mace in their direction, and dropped racial slurs on these kids. Imagine that, a full-on assault. The mace touched not just the kids, but the mother, making her lungs burn and leaving the 6-year-old with a hurting nose. That moment, terrifying.
What went through my head is I thought she had a gun, so I literally kind of jumped, it startled me, because when she was to the fence, she was over the fence like this, and I didn't know what was in her hand because I'm looking at her really quick, and then she sprayed it.
According to the police report, they believe it was pepper spray.
My 6-year-old, she was like, her nose went to burning. She ran in the house and got a bottle of water.
Morant says she's had problems with Anderson since she moved with her family to the neighborhood in November, but
I feel like she's escalating.
April even said she thought Anderson was pulling a gun. And why wouldn't she? When someone sprays a chemical irritant in your face, your brain goes to fight or flight real quick. But here's the kicker. This wasn't a one-off moment. This woman has a documented history with this family, slinging slurs like it's her job. And she didn't even show an ounce of remorse when deputies confronted her, caught on body cam telling officers, "You really don't have any right doing this," as if her violence was somehow justified.
We really don't have any right doing this.
I understand that.
Wait till I get the pictures back. I can show you what they're doing.
according to jail records, Anderson has been released on bond, facing several counts of battery, second or subsequent offense.
She claimed those kids were yelling at her, running up and down the fence, as if that excuse is spraying toxic chemicals at children. The deputies found residue of the spray on the fence and grass, the same stuff that made those girls' noses and throats burn. She was booked on 3 counts of battery and had to post $6,000 bail to get out. But get this, the family expected more charges like hate crime, given the racial slurs and blatant aggression while using bear spray. April Morant said it best: "I don't know what else she's got in that house. I don't want to be near her." And who can blame her? When your neighbor has a history, arrested before for stalking and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, you can't feel safe. This story is more than just an angry old lady snapping. It's a window into the lived reality of Black families who face hostility every day, sometimes from the people living right next door. It's about the weaponization of fear and prejudice aimed at controlling and intimidating communities of color. And it's about how the system still struggles to give these families the justice they deserve. Anderson's case exposes how easy it is for old racist grudges and violent tendencies to persist, especially when the law doesn't come down hard enough or when the charges don't reflect the full weight of the crime. The family's fears, the community's pain, it all underscores a bigger picture, a culture that allows this kind of hate to fester. Let me be clear, attacking children, especially with chemical agents while screaming racial slurs, is a grotesque act of violence, and it's a stark reminder of how deep anti-Black racism runs, even in quiet suburban neighborhoods. As this family plans to file restraining orders and raise money to move, we should ask ourselves, how many other families are silently living this nightmare? How many times do we hear about these stories and shrug, pretending it's just one bad apple? It's not just about one old woman's anger. It's about a society that enables, normalizes, and often minimizes violence against Black bodies, no matter their age. It's about systemic failures to protect vulnerable communities and hold perpetrators accountable. If you're listening and you want to understand the pulse of what Black families face every day, the fear, the resilience, the fight for dignity, then AfroWire AI is your front row seat. We bring you these stories unfiltered, uncut, and unapologetically real. Subscribe now, stay woke, and stay ready. Because justice isn't just a word here, it's a movement.